Okay, let's see how you did with number 1 on page 25. The first thing, it says distribute when necessary. You don't have to distribute because there's no parentheses. So next it says combine like terms. Well, when you look, remember those are on the same side of the equation. So this one has a variable, this one does not. So you can't put those together. Same thing here. Variable, not variable. They can't be put together. So then you are starting down here where you're going to collect the variables on the same side. And so I'm going to retype. Ooh, it started at the bottom. We don't want that. I'm going to retype the equation. I'll try to have that fixed before you guys have to do it. 6x minus 12. And then, ooh, yucky font. I mean, it's really cool font as long as you don't have to read it. And then let's solve it. So we're going to put the variables on the left. So since this is a positive 6, then what you're going to do is you need to subtract 6x from both sides. Think about what we did with the money bags. When we were doing the money bags, it's like we had 13 money bags over here, 6 money bags over here. We can take 6 of them away because that's not going to change the value of the equation, just going to be easier to solve it. The other way to look at it is since this is a positive 6x, the opposite of positive is a negative, so you would subtract 6x from both sides. When you do that, 13x minus 6x is 7x. Equals 6x minus 6x is gone, and now you have a negative 12. Common mistake here is people don't bring down this negative. If you remember, you always look in front of the term to see if it's positive or negative. So this is a negative 12. So now we've collected the variables. Now we're going to collect the constants on the other side. So it's like we put the variables on the left. So now we're going to take the constant and put them on the right. So we look at it, and that's a positive 9. So you would have to get rid of 9 from that side to make it equal to 0. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So then you would be left with 7x, spacebar, equals negative 12 minus 9. That means it's getting smaller. It would be negative 21. So now you have 7 times x equals a negative 21. So the opposite of times is divide. So control U for underline, or you can come up here and click it. Same thing here, control U or hit the underline. And we want to divide both sides by 7. You know what? I just realized I could delete. I realized why it was doing that. Anyway, so all of that stuff is underline. We don't need that. So then 7x divided by 7, those are going to cancel, and you're left with x, space, equals negative 21 divided by 7 is a negative 3. So hopefully you got a negative 3 on that equation. And move that up a little more. Oops. Now let's try number 2. This one's a little bigger. So again, we'll distribute when necessary. I don't see parentheses, so no need to distribute. I'm just moving and I'm not typing. Sorry about that. Okay, so there's no need to distribute. So we're going to start at line 2. Again, if you don't like the font when you type, Arial's my favorite. Use whatever that you can read. So then now we're going to combine the like terms. When we look at the left of the equation, this has an x, this does not. They can't be put together. So we'll rewrite that side. On this side, you have a negative 3 and a positive 16. Neither one of those have x's or variables, and so we can put them together. So negative 3, because you always look in front, so negative 3 plus 16 equals 13. And then we bring down your a to x. Now, step 3, collect the variables on the same side. So when you look at this, we have a 14x and an 8x. Now, it doesn't matter which side you decide to put it on. I always try to choose to put it on the side that's going to keep the variable one positive, but sometimes I don't do that. So when we look here, it's like we have 14 x's on this side, we have positive 8 x's on this side. So what I'm going to do is subtract 8x from both sides, because then you get 8x minus 8x. So that's going to cancel these, and they will be left with 0, which is what we want. So then 14x minus 8x is 6x plus 1 equals 13. Just a little bit. And then so we've collected the variables on the same side. So now we'll go through, collect the constants. So we're going to subtract 1 from both sides. That'll put the numbers that don't have variables together. It's a positive 1. Opposite of positive is negative, so you'll subtract. And you'll be left with 6x equals 12. And then 6 times x, the opposite of times is to divide. So we're going to use the underline feature to show that we're dividing. But we don't need the underline feature on the bottom. And so then you're left with x equals 2. And that's how you do it. The next video will be me explaining page 26, but why don't you go ahead and give them a try before watching the next video. Good luck.